Okay guys, so we're moving on then to lesson 2 in sets, and today we're going to do with the Venn diagram union and intersection. So it's important that you know what a union and intersection is and the symbol first. So we just go through this. So it just says a union of two sets is a set of elements contained in either set. The union of two sets A and B is written as A union B. So it's important that you know that symbol. The set A union B contains the elements which are in A or B or both. So it's everything that is in A and B. Okay, so when we're dealing then with the intersection of two sets of a set of elements are common to both sets. The intersection of the two sets A and B is written as A intersection B. So again, it's important that you know that symbol. So the set A intersection B contains the elements which are in both A and B. And we're only talking about this part of a Venn diagram. So a Venn diagram is when you're representing a set with a circle. So when you have two sets, you have, like here then, you'd have two circles. Okay, so just to go through that again. So when we're talking about the union, make sure that you know that the symbol for the union is A union B. Okay, so it's a U. And we're talking about the intersection then, we'll say it's A intersection B, and it's an upside down N. Okay, so they're the two symbols that we need to know for union and intersection. Okay, so then another symbol that you need to know and definition that you need to know is the cardinal number of a set. So the number of elements, okay, so it's the number of elements in a set is called the cardinal number. So we use the hashtag is the symbol now that you need to know. So it means the number of elements in A. So just say we're dealing then with this question here then. So it says X is 1, 3, 5 and 7 and Y is the set 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. So they're asking you to find, if you look at this one here, the cardinal number of X. So all we do is we count the elements that are in X. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So then the cardinal number of X would be 4. Looking then at Y, so this hashtag Y means what is the cardinal number of Y. So the cardinal number means you must count the elements in Y. So you go up to Y and you see you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements. So the cardinal number of Y is 5. And then the next one then that they want you to hear is the cardinal number of X plus the cardinal number of Y, which that simply is 4 plus 5 to give me 9. Okay, so when you see the hashtag, it means the cardinal number, and the cardinal number means how many elements are in the set. Okay, so the next thing then that we're going to do is we're going to give you a Venn diagram here so you can fit it into the screen. So from the Venn diagram on the right, list the elements of A, B, A intersection B and A union B. So that's how they write it, okay? So they won't say union and intersection. They will use the symbols. Okay, so if we want to write down the elements of all the elements that are in A, so you write down A. Remember, when you're writing the elements now, we have to open up with a chain bracket. All the elements are only written once and there has to be a comma in between them. Now, you've got to be careful then. When they're talking about A, they're talking about all of this is A. Okay, so you just have a habit of just doing the 8, the 4 and the 6. But the set A is all around here. Okay, so we try to put it then in order. So in set A then you have 3, 4, 6, 8 and 9. So don't forget the middle part here as well. Okay, so then they want you to list the elements in B. So then remember B then is all of this here. So it's 5, 7 and 10, but it's the 9 and the 3 as well, because B is all of this circle here is B. Okay, so it's all of B in here. So then listing those guys then, so that would be 3, 5, 7, 9 and 10. And always close it with a chain bracket. Okay, so the next one then that they want you to ask, they want you to find is A intersection B. Okay, so remember the intersection part is where the two circles meet. Okay, so what they have in common in both of them. So it's this little section here. So then I'll just write it. Then A intersection B is the set 3 and 9. The fourth one then that they want is A union B. So remember that U means union, and the union means the two of them together. So what's included in the two of them? So remember, we don't write them all down together. So we try and put them in order, starting with the smallest. So it's 3, then we have a 4, then we have a 5, then we have a 6, then we have a 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so that's writing the elements in A intersection B, and A union B. Okay, so moving on then to another question here. It says, from the Venn diagram, list the elements of X, Y, X intersection Y, and A union Y again. Okay, so X then again. Okay, so we just write down X. Okay, so remember X then is every element in this set X. Okay, so you follow the circle of X. Okay, so then X would be A, B, C, and E. Going to Y then. Okay, so Y again is all the set here is Y. So this is all Y. So it is B, D. So we B, D, E, F, and G. Next one then they asked you is A intersection Y, and remember A intersection Y is where they have in common, so it's just this little section here. So then it's X, right? It's X and Y. So it's X intersection Y is B and E. And the next one they want A union Y. Okay, so remember that union means the whole set, what's in both X and Y. And remember, you only write down one element once. So dealing with X, then what's in X, then we have A, B, then we have C, D, E, F, and G. So remember, the union is the whole lot, whereas the intersection is just the B and the E. If they ask you for X on its own, it's everything within this circle, okay? And then Y is everything within the set Y. So it's all of that circle. Okay, so the next one then that we have here, just put it in. So using the Venn diagram on the right, write down the hashtag. Remember that hashtag stands for cardinal number of A, cardinal number of B, cardinal number of A intersection B, and the cardinal number of A union B. Okay, so dealing with the cardinal number of A, then we have the cardinal number of B, then we have the cardinal number of A intersection B, and then we have the cardinal number of A union B. Okay, so remember then with A, the cardinal number of A is just counting the elements, and A is all of this. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 elements in A. So we just simply write down then that the cardinal number of A is 7. Dealing with the cardinal number of B, so remember B is all of this set here, so we just count how many elements are in B. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there is 6 then in B. The A intersection part, so how many? So A intersection part, remember that intersection part is where they have both in common, so it's where the two sets will interlink. So we have 3 elements here, so we have 1, 2, 3. So this would be 3. And then the next one is A union B, and A union B is both A and B, so we just count them. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there is 10 elements then in A union B. So there's 3 symbols then that you need to know. So you need to know that the hashtag is the cardinal number. When we're talking about the intersection, it's A intersection B and N, and the union is A union B. Okay, so the last part then that we're going to do today then is where they actually get you to draw a Venn diagram and fill it in. So sometimes they'll give you the Venn diagram, and more often than not, you have to draw the Venn diagram. Okay, so X is 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and Y is 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, represents the set X and Y on the Venn diagram. Okay, so the first thing you have to do is you have to draw a Venn diagram. So to draw a Venn diagram, what we do is we draw a rectangle. Now you don't, that will usually be for the universal set, but we'll just get into the habit of drawing it. And then we have two sets, so we'll just do X and Y. So we have X and Y here. Okay, so the first part that you have to fill in is the intersection part. So you have to fill in what they have in common. So if you look at both lists, so in X you have 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And in Y, you have 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So they have a 6 in common and a 6 in common. Okay. And they have a 5 in common and a 5 in common. So you have to fill in the intersection part first. So what is in both of them is 5 and 6. Okay, so then you go back and see what is left in X, and what is left in X is you have 2, 3, and 4. So then you're going to fill in 2, 3, and 4. And then dealing with Y, you see what is left in Y. So we got rid of the 5 and the 6. So what's left is 7, 8, and 9. And then that goes in 7, 8, and 9. So then to double check if you're right, if you look at X, in all of X, you should have the numbers 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So if you look at X, you can see that you have the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, and the 6. Then you have to see what was in Y. So Y should have the letters 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So then if you look at Y, you have 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So we're correct. Then they just ask you, so let's see, can I move all this up? Then they asked you to list the elements of X union Y. So just X union Y, X intersection Y, and what's the cardinal number of X intersection Y. So we'll do the first one. So list the elements of X union Y. So X union Y is the whole lot of it. So remember, union is the whole lot. So we just simply write down 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Then the next one they want to list the elements of X intersection Y. So remember, the intersection part here is 5 and 6. So that would be 5 and 6. And then the next part that they wanted is the cardinal number. So the cardinal number of X intersection Y. So this is X intersection Y. So cardinal number means we just count the elements. So how many elements in that? So that would be 2.